Teaching writing synthesis. It usually begins with something called balanced literacy. Balanced literacy includes interactive writing. This is where the teacher and the student share the pen. The teacher is modeling and they focus more on phonics. Shared writing is where the teacher writes and the student offers up ideas or things they want to say. Usually the skills that they are focusing on are too advanced for the students, and that's why the teacher is writing. Independent writing is exactly what it sounds like. The student is writing and they use the knowledge and skills they have learned in their writing. Writer's Workshop is also a part of balanced literacy. For example, in my placement, to prepare for the STAR, the teacher has the students independently write an essay prompt that they are given. This is an example of independent writing. Next, we have Writer's Workshop. Writer's Workshop usually starts with a mini lesson and introduction. First, they start with a short lesson, which is over one or two things that the student is currently having trouble with. The teacher models and demonstrates how to fix this in their writing to the student. Writing time is the largest amount of time of Writer's Workshop. This is where the student is able to write and demonstrate what they have learned through the mini lesson or through small group lessons. Sharing time is when you have 3 or 4 writers share their work. This could be author's chair. Students are responsible for giving positive feedback to their classmates, and this helps promote self-confidence and kindness. Try to do Writer's Workshop every day in your classroom in order to promote the best writing. For example, my student who was struggling with conventions, I did a mini lesson where she circled words that she thought were misspelled, and we looked at the words together to see how we could revise them. Next, we have writing process stages. The first stage is rehearsing and pre-writing. This is where the student plans and brainstorms their ideas. They also can organize them in a graphic organizer. Drafting is the first version of writing. This is also known as the rough draft. Revising is the major changes that you will make in one's writing. This could be rewriting for coherence or fluency. Editing are the minor corrections, such as conventions, punctuation, capitalization, and other little things. Publishing and sharing is the final product, in which you can make it into a book, hang it up, turn it in, or even just share with your classmates. An example of publishing with my case study student was, after she had gone through the writing process stages, I made a book for her to keep. Finally, we have the 6 traits of writing. The first trait of writing is ideas. You want to make sure that your ideas are clear and they support the main ideas. The details that you include should also support the main idea. The organization of your paper is how your paper is sequenced, and the structure, if you have a hook and if you have paragraphs. Voice is when you are speaking to the audience. You want to make sure that you add voice to your writing in order to stay true to yourself and be authentic. Word choice is the words you choose when you are writing. You want to try to avoid repetition and tired words. Sentence fluency is the flow of the paper. It's like a rhythm. Conventions are proper spellings and grammatically correct capitalization and punctuation. For example, you can do an activity where students will fill out their own graphic organizer before they start writing. This will ensure proper organization of their thoughts. So how do they all relate? The 6 traits of writing work into the writing process. For example, conventions, word choice, and sentence fluency can be a part of things like drafting and revising and editing. When you are revising and editing, you may check for word choice and sentence fluency. Ideas and organization fit into rehearsing and pre-writing. This is because when you are pre-writing, you want to make sure that your ideas are clear and the organization of your paper makes sense. Writing process and Writer's Workshop both have a time for sharing one's work. Balanced literacy is also the environment where the writer will participate in things like Writer's Workshop or the writing process. For example, you can work on independent writing and do all the steps of the writing process. Or you can do a mini lesson in Writer's Workshop and then follow it up with interactive or independent writing.